We're talking about 3 a.m. wake ups and 3 p.m. energy crashes. But first, let's talk about getting headaches when you cut the caffeine. So, Trisha, you're experiencing that right now?
Yeah, big time.
Since when?
So I stopped on Saturday,
Like cold turkey?
cold turkey.
Yeah. And how much were you roughly taking beforehand?
Uh, 16 ounces in the morning and then another 16 ounce at 3. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes in the middle of the day at work, like around lunchtime, I'd have another small cup, like an 8 ounce.
Um,
Sometimes, not regularly, but like regularly, 3 p.m. And because I would get so tired at 3. So I'd have a cup of coffee. And then in the morning, that was like, I would have coffee even before water.
okay. So you had 16 ounces in the morning, 16 ounces at night, and then sometimes in between.
Sometimes, yeah, it was pretty rare. But if I had a really busy day, I would have another cup in the middle of the day.
Let me ask everybody around if you want to be brave and answer, or if you have any idea. Do you guys have any idea how much caffeine that is? 32 ounces of coffee? All right, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys know how much caffeine is in an average cup of coffee? Average.
Not
No,
enough.
not enough. Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Any ideas, anybody?
Like 200 milligrams per cup of coffee. So
No, no, no.
maybe you were having six. No?
No. 200 milligrams is like, you know those Celsius cans?
Oof, those are gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 200 milligrams. So the average canned pre-workout is about 200 milligrams, unless you're looking at like Bang or Rain or Monster. Those are 300 usually. There are some really crazy ones that are 350. But just so to give you guys a reference point, average cup of coffee is about 100 milligrams of caffeine, average, but it depends on the size, of course.
Oh,
Um, so when Trisha says not enough, yeah, because 100 milligrams of caffeine will not give you like insane a boost, and it's very easy to get used to. But Trisha was drinking 32 ounces, let's just say roughly. That's 350 plus. That's 350 to 370 milligrams a day. You really want to max it out. You want to just have be able to survive on the least amount of caffeine. Caffeine, you want really want to see it as a luxury. Now, Trisha, the reason why you're having headaches though is because you cut it out cold turkey. You went from 350 plus, maybe sometimes even 400 to having none. Now, don't feel bad. Obviously, there's a lot of Americans do this. They drink coffee all the time. Starbucks is, never going to go out of business. And if you really want to see how bad the coffee addiction is, just go to any next time you go flying, go to the airport in the morning. It's always long lines in front of the Starbucks. And then you see like zombies standing in line, and then you see like Mary Poppins coming out where they get the coffee.
mm.
Change you different people. So, a couple of tips real quick. Well, actually, we're going to talk about that. The reason you have 3 a.m. and 3 a.m. wake ups, 3 p.m. crashes is because your cortisol is spiking at the wrong times. Now, cutting it out cold turkey shows how committed you are, Trisha. That's great. But you are going to get headaches. Usually, at the most, you will experience those for 2 weeks. What I do recommend is take some theanine, theanine. Uh, Everybody really should be taking that. Honestly, it kind of calms you down, puts you in a more receptive state, even when you drink caffeine, because it gets more out of the caffeine that you're drinking. I always take theanine first thing in the morning. And because if I then take 100 milligrams of caffeine, I'm using every single milligram of that, every single 100. Whereas if I don't take theanine with it, it goes a little faster through your system. Let's put it that way. So you might need more, and it doesn't last as long. So, but yeah, no, compliments to you for cutting out the caffeine. You don't necessarily need to. However, in a perfect world, everybody should cycle off of caffeine every 6 weeks or so. So every after 5 weeks, you go 1 week without caffeine, and then you go 5 weeks on. That's in an absolutely perfect world, and that doesn't exist. I know I should do this, and I never do it. So I'm just being honest with you. Like about 3 times a year, I'll go a week without caffeine, and that's like every 4 months. So and I hate that week. But I will tell you that after about 2 to 3 days, if you bite through those first 2, 3 days, you do feel a lot more calm, tranquil, and it does reset your adrenal fatigue if you have it. And it also kind of depends on how much caffeine you are taking throughout the day. So for me personally, I try to max out at 250. That's the most I take right now. Um, so yeah, that's it. You also, everybody's different. Some people's hearts respond differently to caffeine than others. We all know the construction workers who just drink monster energy drinks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then they eat like a 7-Eleven burrito. And then if they feel like their heart stopping, they just pound it a couple times and it comes back to life. And that's how they like, it's very unhealthy. But you want to use your caffeine as wisely as possible. So with that said, let's get into it real quick. Does anybody else have 3 a.m., 3 p.m. crashes? I assume not, because everybody here is super fit. Wow, you unmuted yourself to laugh? Oh, Trish. Oh no, sorry. I thought Lucretia unmuted herself just to laugh. I saw this scene with Joe Rogan. Was at a comedy show, and he was laughing so loud, but then he grabbed the microphone just while he's laughing, just to let everybody know he was laughing. Anyway, I actually have a presentation for this, but I might have to kind of rush through it a little bit because it's quite a lot. Um, Give me 1 second. All right, share screen, share screen, share screen. We're gonna talk about 3 p.m. crashes. Oh, that's the wrong screen. I'm sorry. Let me share the right screen. Here we go. And I don't know what happened. Why did this needs to go here? There we go. So the sleep energy intensive. I had it in presentation mode. Where how does it?
Oh, there it is.
No, thanks. Slideshow. Do you guys still see the screen or
There
no?
we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Real quick. Um, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., usually that's the time. And by the way, guys, I'm gonna rush through this because it's a lot. It's a vicious cycle. You're basically, it's that whole meme of like somebody sleeping and then thinking about work, and then they're working and they're thinking about their bed. So we're gonna go over circadian rhythm, cortisol patterns, your nervous system, your blood sugar stability, because these are the four things that determine your circadian, well, your crashes and your wake ups. It's not caffeine, it's not melatonin, it's these four things. So you got to ask yourself, how long does it take you to feel awake without coffee? Are you getting natural light within the first hour? When do you drink your first caffeine? And what did you eat for breakfast? So for you guys, women over 35, you should feel awake within 10 minutes. And I know that's something you want to work towards. But the key to do that is to move as soon as possible. So as soon as your eyes open, move, move, stretch your legs, do some hip thrusts in the bed, do some glute bridges in the bed, do some abs in the bed, do something, stand up, reach for the ceiling, touch the floor, reach for the ceiling, touch the floor, stretch your hamstrings out, get the blood flowing. Because if you do that, you're telling your body, hey, I'm not messing around. And also, obviously, never hit never hit snooze. Snooze, never hit snooze. If you can get natural light within the first hour, great. If you right now it's too dark or something like that, then you could use artificial lighting, but that's a whole other topic. But just as soon as natural light comes out, try to be in it for at least 10 minutes. Now, if you can delay caffeine for 90 minutes, then that's great because you want to flush away uh, all the remaining sleep chemicals that you still have. So uh, then when you have breakfast, so when you wake up, your cortisol is always elevated, ideally, because that's what wakes you up. But you don't want to have your cortisol be too high because if your cortisol is too high, then that prevents you from building muscle and also burning fat. Your body gets it kind of into survival mode. So if you eat breakfast, you bring your cortisol down a little bit. Also, if you eat breakfast before your workout, it's going to fuel your performance. So when it comes to your 3 p.m. crashes, You gotta kind of monitor your energy level at 2 p.m. ish. Never ever sit for 3 to 4 hours straight. You want to stand up every hour, and that's easier said than done. If you are under artificial lighting all day, that really messes you up. And if you're reaching for more coffee mid-afternoon, then that's just a telltale sign. So, here's a couple quick tips. And like I said, guys, you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm gonna fly through this. Put your bedroom temperature below 69 degrees. If you really want to be trendy, just put it at 6, 7. But even though nobody knows what it means, but like right now here in Arkansas at night, it's outside, it's getting to like 25, 28 degrees. So I actually have my heater on. I have my heater set to keep it at least above 65. Um, but yeah, so that's where it stays at. Um, as black as possible, no light. Um, if you are going to have your phone charging next to your bed, supposedly if you put your phone in airplane mode, then it blocks all the electromagnetic frequencies, and that doesn't mess with your brain waves. And definitely cut out all screens 1 hour before you go to bed. So when it comes to your 3 p.m. crashes, wait 90 minutes, up to 120 minutes with your caffeine. Not only will this help you with your energy levels, it's also kind of a good way of showing discipline and showing restraint for yourself. Instead, wake up, drink 8 sips of water, add some sea salt. I like to add my creatine as well. And then obviously, like you guys know, never eat carbs by itself, never eat fats by itself. Always have every meal have protein. 30 grams of protein minimum for the breakfast. And every single time you eat, walk for 10 minutes. This is so important. If you literally just do this, if you literally just start walking after every meal, you will improve your glucose metabolism. Basically, you will improve your digestion so much that your blood sugar will stay more regulated and you're just going to feel a lot better, which I am not doing right now. I literally just ate my turkey kebab and I'm sitting down. So I'm basically getting fatter as I'm sitting here. But it really is that if you get kind of like if you kind of get psycho with it, and I can talk to you guys about this like this, you want to get a little bit psycho with it, where you're like, when you eat, you're like, okay, gotta move because I don't want that food just sitting there. But it is so important to keep your visceral fat. The visceral fat is that fat that forms in between your organs. You attack that by the habits that you do, by what you do every single day. So give me a second, let me escape out of this. Oh no, wait. Yeah. Well, let me just unmute real quick. Or do you guys have any questions so far? Does this sound familiar? You can actually raise your hand if you want. I mean, there's a button to raise your hand.
Michael, everything that you said sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar? Yeah. Yeah. Once there's something new, I'm gonna come out with it. Once there's like a new way of being healthy, and then you'll be the first to hear it from me. Um, but the reason I wanted to pause here real quick is because I'm gonna get into your office now. And this is something that we often what you're never gonna be perfect with. So don't beat yourself up if you do none of this, but try to position your desk near natural light. Stand every 45 minutes. Now, I just shot a video about standing every hour. If you just do that, or you work standing up for just a couple hours a day, you will literally burn like 15 pounds of fat every single year just by standing. And then there is a 20-20-20 rule for screen time. And that is that, and this is where it gets really nerdy. But every 20 minutes, you want to stare at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. This is good for your eyes. Now, you don't want to get a restraining order by staring at people, but just stare at something. So stare at a statue or something, but 20 feet away, 20-20-20 every 20 minutes. Now, of course, this is where I say it gets really nerdy because that means every 20 minutes, but just don't stare at the screen all the time. And then if you keep your workspace kind of cool below 72 degrees, that really helps with your focus. Um, so here's kind of like an overview of if you suffer from this. In week one, start having caffeine later in the day and go on walks after your meal. In week two, start having protein for breakfast and every 45 minutes stand up, movement breaks. In week 3, optimize your workspace. And then the result will be stable afternoon energy with no more crashes. So that is the 3 p.m. energy crash. Let's go over sleep real quick. So I'm going to rush through this again. All right. 3 hours before you go to bed, shut down all work, stop eating, dim the lights to 50% if you can. 2 hours before you go to bed, dim the lights to 25%. Start doing your wind down activities. 1 hour, no more screens. Take a warm shower if you can. And then, yeah, just try to relax that 1 hour before you go to bed. I know it's tough. Temperature 65 to 67 degrees. Make this a non-negotiable. If your husband doesn't agree, then check his body fat. If his body fat is like in six-pack city territory, then he's okay. But if it's not, then yeah, his arguments are invalid. He's probably a really nice guy though. Darkness, try to completely black it out. Eye mask, I recommend an eye mask. I recommend that eye mask that has Bluetooth speakers in the ears. And then yeah, no sound. The eye mask that would recommend is the one with the Bluetooth speakers, so you can put white noise on. And then air quality, that's just proper ventilation. Ideally, you sleep with the windows open, but that kind of depends if you live next to a street or, yeah. Um, to be honest with you, I live here in the woods. I live in the forest, and I sleep with the windows closed. But that's just because of all the coyotes and all the animals that are outside. So, you already know magnesium glycinate, 200 milligrams to start. And then you could take some theanine and ashwagandha as well. Apigenin is another one you can take. It promotes natural melatonin production, but outside of that, eat goji berries throughout the day. Eat blueberries throughout the day. Eat egg yolks throughout the day. Eat yogurt throughout the day. Holy basil seeds, you guys already know that. Put that in your yogurt. And if you do that, then that'll just form a compound effect. So in week 1, stop working and eating 3 hours before you go to bed. Check your bedroom temperature. Week 2, add that warm shower, complete darkness. And week 3, add magnesium. And 1 hour before bed, stop all electricity or electronics. So it's going to be easier to fall asleep, less wake ups, natural wake timing. You'll have sustained energy all day because sleeping is the ultimate uh, the way you burn fat, the way you build muscle. Now, these 2 slides are what I'm going to use. I'm going to do this whole presentation for like new people, and then I'm going to promote my program. I'm going to tell them to text me because I'm going to take on 5 new clients, but that's something else. It's not for you guys. So let me stop the share real quick. I know I flew through that. Does that make sense? Or are you guys like, what the hell? What was that all about? Did you learn anything, or are you guys just playing Angry Birds on your phone? Angry Birds used to be a really cool.
So Trisha here, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like it's easier said than done. But to your point, last time we talked, this is not about things being easy. It's about making lifelong changes. So I get that. It's a commitment and it's gonna take a little bit. So
Yeah. Most people choose the melatonin. Most people choose the NyQuil. Most people choose the knock me out. And their rationale is, hey, YOLO, you only live once. Let's just get the quick fix. And to be honest with you, I don't necessarily blame them for that because I'm going to go a little deep here. But if you were born in America, and don't take this the wrong way to anybody listening in the replay too, but if you were born in America and you've never been outside of America, you don't know what healthy life is like. I'm sorry. You've never been to Europe. You've never been to South America, where they actually live La Dolce Vita, Pura Vida, in Costa Rica, where you can actually eat bread without getting cancer, where you can actually just fall asleep naturally. You think they take melatonin in Italy? They would laugh at you. They would throw you in the river. First off, this is nothing against anybody here. All American tourists, when I was living in the Netherlands, We always knew who the American tourists were because they were big and they were loud and they were big and they were very unhealthy. And this is not, I hate saying that this is not your fault because it's always your fault to a certain extent. But if you were born in America, you were being fed by society, by your environment, the quick fix society, because that's where all the money is at. Healthcare is such a big profit center here. It's for profit. So living a healthy lifestyle where you actually pay attention to your circadian rhythm, installing that into your life where you've never done it before, that's I mean, a minimum 3 weeks of effort, and then you're gonna fall off. And it's almost like you're being a foreigner, kind of. Not a lot of people are gonna do this. Most people will do the melatonin. They'll do that. Like NyQuil doesn't even get sold anywhere but America. It's the only country where they actually sell that stuff. Melatonin was invented for pilots because they had jet lag. And they were like, oh, let's sell it to the population. We can make money. It's the whole Ozempic route. Ozempic was for diabetics. The Atkins diet was designed for obese people just to get them ready for gastric bypass. And it was like, hey, let's put this in an ebook and sell it for regular people. And now that Atkins is not extreme anymore, now it's keto. Keto, when I became a personal trainer at the big gym in the city of Downey, California, we had a little orientation week for new trainers. And the head trainer guy of the main guy who ran all the training department, he said, if I ever catch anybody putting clients on anything less than 1,400 calories, or if I see anybody playing around with ketosis or keto, you're instantly fired. And that was 2007. Look at it now. With all due respect, I have nothing against realtors, but we got overweight realtors buying keto bread and not eating vegetables because there's carbs in it and eating all meats and going carnivore, but they'll eat the keto bread. It's only getting worse and worse. And you would think it would get better and better and better. But, and this is not because people are dumb, and that's not it. Not everybody at least, but it's the quick fix society, the fact, two things. If you want to be successful, look at what everybody's doing and do the complete opposite. That's one. And I think most of you understand that. Two, if you see something happening, always ask yourself, why? Why is it happening? Why is Ozempic so popular? Money. That's why. Because you get on Ozempic, they're making money off of it. And then also, when they lose the weight, yeah, they're going to be back at square one. It's like they win the lottery. They don't know how to spend their money. They spend all their, how to save that money. They spend all their money. They're back at square one a year later. So anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent, but everything takes 10 times longer. Everything worthwhile takes 10 times longer than you want it to take. It also costs more, takes more effort, and it's always very slow. It's always very slow, always. But yeah, I suffer from, I don't suffer from this, but I encounter this too. Like marketing, for instance, right? Like I got to market my business. Well, you think I'm just gonna like, a lot of people think they're just gonna run an ad. I'll just run an ad, and then I'm gonna get leads, and then I'm gonna call them, and then like 50% of them are just gonna sign up. No way. Got to get your messaging right. You got to get the right click-through rate. You got to respond to them within 5 seconds. You got to get them on a phone call. Then you actually have to have them show up. Then you have to have them show up to the phone call. You have to make them feel comfortable, make them know, like, and trust you. There's always so many more levels and layers to what you want to accomplish in life. But that's also kind of the beauty of it, because if you then accomplish it, then you know that you did something that nobody else will do, because everybody else is looking for the easy way out. Not everybody else, but yeah, successful people, they know that you're never done. You accomplish something, next challenge is waiting. New levels, new devils. The work never ends. And that's a beautiful thing. Stephen Pressfield, he's 83 or something. He wrote the book, The War of Art, uh, and Do the Work. in The Legend of Bagger Vance. And he's 83. He still works out. He still writes every day. Says, yeah, you're never done. I'm not Jewish, but in the Hebrew language, there is no word for retirement because they don't believe in it. And they believe that if you punch somebody, you don't stop your fist at their nose. You actually punch through their nose. That's how you put. And then the metaphor for that is that you want to punch through death. So you want to keep accelerating until you die. Anyway, I know you were just saying about this that it's a lot of work, but yeah. Hope that kind of makes sense. Does anybody else have any questions? Is sorry, my neighbor is texting me and he's saying that the dog is barking, and that's my other neighbor's dog. So yeah, we got some drama here in Arkansas. But drama here in Arkansas is different because like over here, they'll just shoot your dog. Anyway, I just realized this is being recorded. Probably shouldn't have said that, but anyway. Um, oh shoot, there's Lucretia and Vidi. That's crazy. I thought I was in the Matrix.
We just ran into each other. We're both being
Oh,
healthy.
they just ran into each other.
Yeah.
That's funny. You're at your
And we're both
internet.
and we're both listening to Michael.
Wow. What a world. I'm gonna move to that block. I'm gonna sign up everybody that lives on the street.
You could do your hill sprints up here.
Yeah,
All right.
actually, I have to do
All
that.
right. All right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Does anybody else have any questions or anything they want to share?
You know what? I'll share something because I know that I've been working with you for a bit now. And, when I said everything, not everything sounded familiar, but most of it did. I think for me, what I've learned many things from you, but one of the main things that I think is important, especially for people who are starting and struggling, is to know that nothing that I've attempted has ever been simple or has been a success from the very beginning. I have, gone through a cycle of like, I've done really good and I've done really bad, I've done really good and I've done really bad. But, you know, just realizing that it's a process that is a forever thing, I think helps me, especially when I don't log my food or I eat those things that I know I shouldn't be eating because they're just empty calories or they're not part of what my plan was or is. So I want to encourage everybody to just take it one day at a time and don't give up. If you happen to fall off track, that would be what I would want to say because it's helped me to stay focused on what your different advice throughout the time that I've known you. That's how I use your knowledge.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's so just like I'm just being real, like the way I do this, so if you guys probably at your job, you work with people too. And well, maybe not everybody, but if you work with people at your job, you probably know that whatever it is that you're selling is it's not like you're over promising and under delivering, but the customer usually expects it to be a lot more amazing than it is. You usually. Um, this is why, for instance, car dealerships, car salesmen, they are legally protected. Once you drive off the lot, you cannot return the car, right? Which is why most car salesmen are kind of pushy. They just want you to sign on the dotted line and drive it off the lot. But whatever it is that you do for your work, you probably have that where if you deal with people, it's very important that they know, like, and trust you first before they sign up with you or do business with you or whatever it is that you do. Now, I know some of you are like attorneys and all that, so it's a little bit different. But if you deal with people, it's so important to just have people know, like, and trust you. So they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And I think nowadays they have to know you, love you, and trust you. Um, The reason I'm saying that is because I don't really know. Yeah, that's there's really no point to what I'm saying, but what I'm really saying is there's really nothing new that I can tell you guys. There is new research coming out here and there. Andrew Huberman is helping a lot, neuroscientists. New research comes out like every once in a while, like creatine lately. But overall, fitness, losing weight, losing fat, being lean, squatting, barbells, doing deadlifts, having muscle, going through a public place where people think, damn, look at that person. And then you're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? You just think it's normal because you actually have a fit body. That is like 90%, 80 to 90% all mental. It's all mental. So just recognize that you already know exactly what you need to do. But of course, I would never say that because then it's like, oh, what do I need you for? But I mean, I still say it in my videos, but you already know what you need to do. Doing it is a whole different thing. And that's why it's important to remember your reason why. And that'll push you through the fact that everything takes 10 times longer than you expect it to take. And also don't compare yourself because there's people who are way better than you that have amazing six packs and whatever, and they have it all going on. Well, for one, you never really know if it's actually real, but also there's way more people who have it way worse than you. And I don't want, I mean, technically, if you really, let's be real, if you live in America, you have running water, you're already in the top 5% of the world compared to the rest of the world. So, anyway, I'm just kind of rambling here. I got my turkey kebab waiting for me. Does anybody else have anything? Any questions? Anything they want to share? Any wins?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Um, so how do you feel about, and I know this is going to contradict what you're saying, which is why I'm asking it, or maybe more of a platform to talk about it. But for those of us that take pre-workout at 5 a.m. and we wake up at 4:30 to be at the gym at 5, how is that I would
Yeah.
say maybe we are burning it off, but how does that contribute as well to the sleep later or the crash?
No, that's good. So waiting 90 minutes for your caffeine and not having it for your workout versus having it in the first 45 minutes, let's say, and having it for your workout, having it within the first 45 minutes and having it for your workout always wins. So that's fine because the workout itself kind of regulates your energy systems anyway, if that makes sense. Like during your workout, you're going to get rid of all your sleep chemicals, your adenosine, if that makes sense. So the thing is, if you work out early in the morning, if you work out, let's say 5 a.m., you do want to get up at 4 a.m. ideally. That's not only for energy levels, but also for your spinal fluids and all that. That's usually the harder part. But no, for sure, take your caffeine. Um, yeah, that's the answer to that. Does that might kind of make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so just do it. Just do it. That's actually straight from Andrew Huberman. Um, yeah, and that's the thing too, like with these protocols, with all the new science that's coming out, it's like, yeah, take 8 sips, do 6 lunges on your left leg, and do 6 lunges on your right leg. Look 10 minutes in the direction of the sun. Only eat Himalayan pink sea salt. Only eat pasture-raised eggs that have from chickens who have had 100 square feet of, at a certain point, you got to draw the line because then you're not going to have any friends left. Nobody's going to want to hang out with you anymore. I think there's a Geico commercial too about uh our rates. It's something like our rates are so low, you'll be happier than a vegan at a farmer's market or something like that. And then you see that vegan at the farmer's market, like, is this really organic? Like, you don't want to become a purist. Any other questions, guys?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, I think, sorry, Nicole, you muted yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
That's weird.
So you,
okay, okay. I think I have it now. Am I
yeah,
good?
we're good. We're good.
Okay, so my question was as far as the L-theanine, I know my protocol, it's a part of my energy supplements, but I know you mentioned taking it with ashwagandha, which is later in the day. I'm not a coffee drinker. I mean, I may drink tea, but I did take a L-theanine one time at night, and it kept me awake. But then
Mm.
I did it in the morning, um, and I feel better in the morning. So you can take it either morning or evening.
Yeah, you can. But L-theanine by itself doesn't do much. It's more that it prolongs the effects of what you take with it. So if you take it with ashwagandha, then it prolongs the effects of it. So I don't know
Oh.
why it kept you awake. That doesn't necessarily add up too much. But so if you take theanine with caffeine in the morning, then the caffeine lasts longer and you don't need as much caffeine. But if you take theanine, for instance, with ashwagandha or reishi, tiger tail, one of those calming adaptogens, then it makes that last longer. So I don't know, maybe
Okay,
it's
so sorry, that was my mistake. So in the morning, I'll take my creatine with the salt, and then I'll have the L-theanine with that. I don't know if that's correct, but
good.
that time that I took it at night, I think I didn't take any of the adaptogens, and I had just took it, and I was wide awake. I don't understand that, but I was.
Mm. Hard to say. I mean, you would have to kind of see like what you ate that day and what that was. Sometimes, sometimes I'll have it where I eat like something that has cocoa powder in it or chocolate. Because the healthier you become, that's kind of like the crux of being super healthy and fit, especially if you work out a lot, like you did hill sprints today. What happens is your body becomes really, really quote unquote sensitive to nutrients that you take in. So others, like those really overweight people who can just go to Burger King and be like, "Oh, that's good." And like if we all go to Burger King, we'll probably be sick for a whole day. So at night, sometimes I'll have where I make myself like a protein brownie or whatever and put cocoa powder in it. And I'll eat it at night. And I'm like, yeah, I can't really fall asleep as well. So could be one of like,
Mm.
a minor ingredient. So hard to say.
Okay, okay.
But a
That
lot
was in the
of
beginning.
what's that?
Sorry, that was in the beginning. When I started, I was just trying it out, and I'm sure I didn't take it correctly. But if if I decide to take it at night with the ashwagandha, that will be beneficial more than
Yeah, a
taking it
lot.
in the morning with the creatine.
You can take them both. You can take them
Oh,
both
okay.
times. Yeah. When you're in the grocery store next time, look at the pre-workouts. A lot of them now have theanine in it. Actually, Greg O'Gallagher was the very first one to do it. He was the first one to actually find out about it. But a lot of even canned pre-workouts now have theanine in it, but also sleep supplements have it. So it's kind of interesting. It's just basically like it increases the efficiency, how efficient the supplement is. Yeah.
Uh, this is tradition about the creatine with salt. How much salt should I be adding?
I just do like I have one of those grinders. I just do like five, one, two, three, four, five. It doesn't necessarily matter too much. Salt, what it does is it retains your electrolytes, so you actually stay more hydrated. Just a pinch.
Okay.
Yeah, not too much. Um, if you sweat a lot during the day, let's say, if you're a construction worker or something like that, you want to have a little bit more, but just a little bit in the morning is fine.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And then I I don't remember where I heard you say this. It could have been, I think I've heard you mention this in on several different platforms. I'm sorry, just walked in my house and my dog is like excited that I'm home. Let me pick him up. Eat a carrot a day.
Yeah.
Right? So I went to Costco and I bought the gigantic organic carrot bag,
Yeah.
and they were so pretty and gigantic. I had a whole one while driving to my sister-in-law's house in Chino, which is about an hour and 15 minutes from me. By the time I got to her house, my stomach was killing
Mm.
me. Like I spent the whole visit with her, like just in such horrible pain.
Okay. Those Costco carrots are really big. So I would cut those, I would just eat half. I mean, honestly, I don't even eat the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, it
So
was horrible.
yeah, I got them in my fridge here too. But couple things. For one, those Costco carrots are a little big. I used to just do 9 baby carrots, but I just started eating real carrots. It's just easier. But also, usually, if you go from not eating healthy to eating healthy, sometimes you will have it where your stomach's like just reacts, just responds.
Yeah. And I know you did say after you looked at the meals that I was able to log this week that I need to eat more vegetables. So maybe I know I'm a all or nothing kind of gal. So just like talking about like just stopping caffeine cold turkey and all that.
Yeah.
I'm like so now every meal is going to have 50% vegetables. Like that's what I'm committed to do for myself.
Um,
So, but like my stomach is just the fiber and everything. And maybe that's why I had such bad, horrible, stomach aches last week, or I don't know. I don't know what could be
could
causing that.
be, yeah, there's fiber. Could be that there's toxins that were being released. Hard to say, but uh, 50% of your meat, every single meal having vegetables. If you can do that, if you can pull it off, great. To be honest with you, I don't even do that. But if I usually have one meal with vegetables, and then I'll try to have vegetables on another meal. But it's more about consistency. So if you have 6 pieces of broccoli every single day, and you switch it up with, whatever, eight pieces of asparagus every single day and some spinach. You just want to have some variety
Okay.
and make it taste good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and by the way, everybody watching the replay, and by the way, let's do this. If you're still watching the replay, guys, I really appreciate you. By the way, last week nobody messaged me their favorite R&B singer from 2006. So yeah, I guess nobody watched the replay last week. But if you are watching this replay, then I want to let you know that hardly anyone eats enough vegetables. Some of you do, but you can always tell who eats lots of vegetables. They look really good. They are good-looking people without fail. People who eat lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, they always have tighter skin. They're more witty. They don't smell as bad. They have clear, just better aura, and all these movements like the carnivore diet, the keto diet, where you eliminate vegetables. It's the dumbest thing ever. But not a lot of people eat enough vegetables. I don't know what it is. Just common
So
sense.
where can I watch the replay?
I send it out. It's on my YouTube channel too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So everybody's gonna learn about my upset stomach.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm also
Now
gonna.
I know why none of the other girls say anything.
No, no, no. It's good. It's good. Somebody has to start. I
All
know.
right.
It's good. Honestly, like if you admit to like, hey, this is what I'm going through, I guarantee you almost everybody else is going through the same thing. So appreciate you guys sharing what you're going through. Um, and you know what? I gotta give everybody a compliment. Everybody had their camera on, which is great. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna go eat my turkey kebab, which I'm gonna send you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna send you a Google document in the WhatsApp group. Gonna have four new recipes. Gonna have turkey kebab, protein brownie, cottage cheese brownies. It's gonna have the garlic sauce. It's gonna have the protein apple pie and something else as well. Um, no, it's actually those four. So I'm gonna have those new recipes. These chicken kebabs, I made it with turkey. It's a lot of work, but oh my goodness. Like if you showed up late to the Zoom call, I made chicken kebabs here. I'll show you real quick. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but it's that brown piece of meat right there. And then I made garlic sauce, new garlic sauce. It's amazing. So anyway, whoops. I'll send the replay out right now. And for everybody, do me a favor, for everybody watching the replay, message me through the training app or comment on the YouTube video. What was your favorite Biggie song? All right, message me that. All right, cool. I'll see you guys later. Have an awesome night.
Bye,
Thank you for
guys.
showing up. See you guys. Bye.